Hello folks, I'm Rick and I'm going to show you what to do with a Roland U-20 synthesizer from 1989 when you get the low internal battery error upon startup, which causes tons of problems. So the next 15 seconds, just bear with me showing the problem and then we'll get into it. Bottom plate is removed. Now we need to remove these screws that hold the MIDI board in place, and that screw as well. Next we need to remove these 7 screws. They're a gold color so that we can get at the board where the battery is. So rather than removing this board, because there seems to be a lot of cables attached to it and I've heard that they are difficult to disassemble, I can see right back here, that's the battery container. I'm going to try to access that. I'm going to go off camera for this though. So I pulled it out. It's a Sunbeam brand. I don't think that's a great brand actually, but I'm not 100% sure. If you think that that's better than Energizer, leave a comment. So these are like, I don't know, $14, $10, something like that. Only came with 2 packs, so I'm going to just slide one in. So I used a screwdriver to take it out of this slot while holding this up a little bit. I'm just going to slide the battery right back in. Now, hopefully, it's just a matter of reassembling and then, of course, adding the sys file. This is proving to be more difficult. I think you have to line up these 4 bottom screws first. Because if you tighten these even a little bit, then you can't get these lined up in the bottom. The metal tab that the MIDI board goes into, you have to make sure this board goes below that tab. That's the mistake I made. Because this thing has to be laying on a slant, this board, to be able for the 4 screws on the bottom to be able to line up at all with their junction points. Yeah, get the bottom, the 2 furthest from the sides, the 2 bottom corners in. If you line those up, the other 5, it appears, are going to be easy to get in. It may be tricky to get these 2 screws in. So what I did was look on this side, lift the board up and down until the screw pushes through, and then you're done. Then just screw it in. Be sure to be more choosy with your drill bit Phillips size type. As I almost stripped a screw here, and I can tell that I'm not the first person to be loose with the selection of the bit size. I'm thinking I'm the 3rd person to take this apart, at least a 2nd, and these batteries can die in 10 years pretty easily, and this is a 1988 unit, so about 36 years old, so I'm probably the 3rd person to change the battery, and I'm probably the 3rd person to almost strip screws. One more person does what I did 10 years from now, stripping screws. Now you can always deal with that if you do strip them. 1 screw, I mean there's like 15 screws in this thing. There's some missing. There's supposed to be 5 here, there's 3 on top here in the back. There's supposed to be 15 here, and there's less than that. Supposed to be getting gibberish. We are seeing the PCM keyboard. Internal battery low, it just said. I just replaced it, so that's not good. So, if you haven't done so already, it is time to bring the Roland U-20 near your computer and open a browser. And I've left the links in the description. You got to go to llamamusic.com, and there's a specific link, as you can see, though, to skip ahead. You're going to want to download U-20 factory presets.zip. Here we go. Click download. Now, as you can see, I've done this before. You will extract this. It's just a zip file, no big deal. If you haven't seen one before, well, you're going to right-click, extract to its own folder, and now you have it available to use when you download the appropriate software. Now, there's something else you can do. I've done this. On this same page where you got the factory preset, you can download this alternate bank A and alternate bank B. I'm not sure. I believe these were originally made to go on optional, I guess, ROM cards back in the day. Not sure, but I've actually managed to get these both to load in the Roland just by using the piece of software we're going to use next. But you don't have to do that. If you just want the factory presets, just grab this one. And now we're going to move on to the next step. So now we're going to go to midiox.com. And what's interesting about this obviously is just some guy in his basement or whatever made this website. But it is actually a proper MIDI transmission utility. This has only been updated to work with Windows XP. There's another part of the website that says that. Fine, I downloaded it and ran it on Windows 10, and it works fine. So Windows 7, 8, and 10, you should have no problems running this. Can't speak for 11. So you're going to download this file. Oh, you're going to click download here, I guess. And as you see, I've done this before, it's going to tell you insecure download blocked. Well, I haven't had any problems since I downloaded it. So you'll open it. Now, I've already installed it. So you can run it as administrator, install it. It's a really, really lightweight program. As you can see, it is not even an entire megabyte. It's 896 kilobytes. So now, once you've installed it, we're going to go to the next step. So we'll create an icon on your desktop called MIDiox. I'm just going to do this way there. So we've opened this program. Before we run anything, make sure that you have a MIDI to USB cable connected to the back of the U-20, the MIDI in side. It doesn't have to be a MIDI in and out, but since I have a MIDI in out, I plugged them both in just for the heck of it. But I assume you only need a MIDI in, plugged in, and the USB goes into your PC. Okay, so now what we need to do, press the part and rhythm button simultaneously to enter ROM mode. Make sure it shows song number 1. It may not show anything though, because you may have memory corrupted enough that it doesn't show the message. Now, while holding mark and jump, press enter. That shows test mode. While holding jump, press number 7. So what I did was jump and specifically number 7. Not to be confused with bank. So number 7. Anyways, you hit enter to execute and then value up to confirm. And you have a little process go by. Next, press mark, jump, and then exit simultaneously. Oh, this takes a couple tries for some reason. This older keyboard buttons are a little dirty. Now, press keyboard and sound. Return to play mode. Now we're going to send the system exclusive old school 1989 factory reset MIDI file through the MIDI cable using MIDiox software. It's actually really easy. Check it out. You just click this send a system exclusive file to MIDI out port. And look at that. We have our downloads. We have this zipped already. You double click that and it starts to send. Now on the Roland, on the top part of the screen, it's going to say receiving MIDI something something. And you will wait for this bar to finish. And once this file progress is completed, the keyboard has received all the factory preset data and it is restored to 1989 perfect settings. So this is the best angle I could get with the video camera. You're in play mode. Starts out with sound number 1-1, acoustic piano. Maybe a bit of delay because of the way this is engineered, but Try some other patch here. And, you know, bank 4, number 4, brings you to fretless bass. And, you know, everything should work fine. So, I'm going to end this with the factory presets. So you click on part with rhythm, same time, and then hit enter, and Hyperjazz starts to play.